A person's moral convictions about sex and sexuality aren't generally self-evident when they walk down the street, but their religious beliefs can be. In August 2018, MP Boris Johnson aired controversial views about Muslim dress. He wrote, "It is absolutely ridiculous that people should choose to go around looking like letterboxes."
It's very sad to hear these comments. They are clearly Islamophobic and racist. And let's not forget that Boris Johnson is not a nightclub comedian. He is a member of the parliament.
Amid the media storm, Welsh Muslim Sahar Al-Faifi took to TV studios to defend her right to wear the niqab.
It's not about showing or not showing my beauty. It's about submission to God. Everyone has the right to express their faith and their identity the way they want, regardless of their faith or background or sexual orientation.
But for Sahar, that right came at a price.
Most of the abuse I got actually when Boris Johnson described veiled Muslim women as letterboxes. I said, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of hate and bigotry. Someone responded, yes, it does, you dumb C-U-N-T. Another abuse is, if you're going to live in our country, then you should follow our ways of life. Why should Muslims be treated differently to us? Rubbish being talked by the woman with the bag on her head. Another one says, there are flights to Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia from Heathrow. You're welcome. So basically, I don't belong here. I need to be deported as soon as possible. Okay, this is horrendous, yeah? So people still think that I'm a suicide bomber. I'm not a human being, nothing, just a suicide bomber. So this guy says, strapping a bomb to yourself and do all that to kill the infidels, Christians and Jews, you fool no one with your political agenda and your evil ideology. I'm a bomber who wants to kill the infidel, the Christians and the Jews. It's hurtful when someone sees you as a criminal and a suicide bomber who wants, to kill other people. And it's really painful. I'm trying to cope with it, and I cannot believe that there are people out there who think of me like this. It is sad because I am not a suicide bomber. I am not. I am really not a suicide bomber. Yeah. See? He just abused me. He said, take off your mask. That's unbelievable.
As a direct result of her experiences after speaking out against Boris Johnson, Sahar has given up her job in the NHS to become a full-time campaigner.
As you can see, I am a visibly Muslim woman wearing the face veil, which is called niqab, by the way. It's not called the burqa, right? This is how the media like to call it. Ban the burqa, right? I'm a geneticist by training, but then I decided 6 months ago to leave my job and take a career break for a couple of years to do something different, which is fighting racism and tackling Islamophobia. You might be wondering, why do I decide to wear a face veil? Let me tell you, for me it's an act of devotion. It's an act of worship. You see Sikh men wearing a turban, you see a Jewish man wearing a keppa, you see nuns wearing a headscarf, you see Mary wearing a headscarf. For them, this is an act of devotion. Unfortunately, a Muslim woman is presented most of the time as someone who's isolated, failing to integrate, uneducated, she can't contribute, she's a burden, she can't speak the language, and all of this. Do not believe what the media tells you that a man forced me to do. Believe me, anyone who knows me, no one can force me to do anything. Absolutely, I'm a rebel. It's time to actually enable Muslim women to lead their own fight
and empower themselves to challenge these stereotypes.
And in fact, last Saturday, I was in Birmingham New Street Station, and so a man in suit looked at me and said, "You look like a letterbox." But do you know what happened when he said that to me? I actually followed him. I told him off, and I embarrassed him in public, you know? Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked once, what is jihad in your opinion? And he said, jihad is the word of truth in front of a tyrant. For me, this is a jihad, you know, all what I'm doing to challenge Islamophobia, it's my jihad. And am I winning? You know what? I might not see Islamophobia disappearing any soon, but I can see a lot of people believe in what I believe, that everyone should be accepted for who they are.